What's up, guys? It is LJ here, Lawrencejame coming at you from Lawrencejame Hearthstone, and today I'm going to be talking about something that I've been thinking about a lot over probably the last few years. We are at an era in gaming where everything is new. Games are coming out each week. Every day, new players, young and old, are coming into the gaming scene. And this generation, our generation, is responsible for setting the social standards that will be acceptable for future generations to come. I see us right now going two totally separate directions with gaming etiquette, and I want to talk about both of those directions. Selfishly, I want to bring awareness to this topic because I want the community that I spend so much of my time in to be better than it is right now. Gaming etiquette is something that we really don't talk about very often, and if we don't talk about it soon, then unfortunately nothing's going to change, or it might just get worse. From my experience in games over the last 8 years, I've seen a downwards trend of respect amongst players and just overall treatment of human beings online. Some of you may ask me, what do you consider exactly to be this bad treatment that I'm talking about? It's not rocket science behind what is bad-mannered and what is not. Most of us, hopefully all of us, know what the answer to that question within themselves. I'm talking about intentional harassing, volatile language, belittling people. There's countless forms of bad gaming etiquette, and people that participate in doing so generally know what they're doing. Of course, there is varying degrees of BM, and some of it won't be that bad, and some of it may be really bad. Maybe some of it is age, a lot of it is personality. Perhaps some of it is because we're behind a keyboard, and it's just a little bit easier to say something that maybe you wouldn't say in real life. You're not going to face the same repercussions, of course. Some of it spreads like an infection. One person says something negative, another person joins in, and suddenly everyone is contributing to the problem. I'm sure we can sit here and talk all day about why our community is acting this way. Look at what Blizzard has been made to do with Hearthstone. When I first saw their communication system, I was like, this is genius. This is going to be awesome. I was just coming over from a game, League of Legends, and I had seen more abuse in that game than I ever want to see again. League of Legends is the biggest game right now, and so much of our community is richly involved with them, and I think this is a perfect reason why Blizzard decided to go the route they did with their communication system. Are we that out of control that game developers are having to limit our communication so that they can provide the masses a positive experience? Even in Hearthstone, we have still managed to find a way to BM with only 6 messages that you can press. How do people BM in Hearthstone? There's various ways. They spam certain emotes, manipulate the sayings of thank you, well played, and some of the others, purposely wait for the rope to finish off their opponent, AFK in the middle of games to get back at them for playing Hunter. I think that was a personal experience there. People get into games and they are muting each other before the game even begins. A well met in the beginning of a game sends up red flags. Is this guy a BMer, or is he really just saying hello? That should never have to be questioned. I hear stories all the time about people getting added after a game and they just get cursed out. So in future times, they may get added by a friend and they don't even accept it because they're worried about what that person is going to say to them. Blizzard has gone out of their way to make it as hard as possible for BM to be a factor in their game, and it's a good thing they have, because if they didn't, I feel like this community may be as bad as League of Legends right now, and just overall the gaming community where it's headed is just not a very solid place. I could see a perfect viable argument saying, are we overly sensitive? This is going to be different for each person. Some may not care at all, and some are going to be deeply offended by BM. That's the reason why I'm not going to argue if we're overly sensitive, because honestly that's blaming the victim, and that should never occur. Why go out of your way to make an experience that should be enjoyable for everyone less so because you think that they're just overly sensitive and shouldn't care as much as they do? I'll be 100% honest. I don't get offended when people BM me in games. If you watch my stream or YouTube, you've probably seen that. I laugh it off, I just ignore it. It's never really bothered me. But it does bother me that it's hurting other people that I enjoy playing the game with. It's ruining the communication systems in games like Hearthstone, and it reflects very poorly on those outside the gaming world, and it very possibly prevents us from growing even bigger. For some people, gaming etiquette will be a huge issue. That's something that they've always participated in, and it's just how they've dealt with frustration. They take it out on others, and perhaps they even do it outside of the game. Maybe this is just who they are. So for those people, this is something they have to change from within, and nothing I say or nothing you say is going to make them think any differently. But if they do get motivated, they can absolutely change it, and I've seen it happen many times. My personal opinion is that those people are of the minority. For most people, this is something that they just see others doing, so they're doing the same thing, and it's just the result of a toxic environment. For those people, I think something simple like hearing, hey, what you're doing is not really cool, can absolutely change their ways. And as more and more people change what they're doing, the less toxic environment that we will see, and the less those people will be influenced by the toxic environment. If that makes sense. Gaming companies are not going to be able to fix what is wrong with our community. They can do away with forms of communication, they can punish more severely, but in the end, it's not going to work. And that's been proven by what's gone on in Hearthstone. I don't know about you guys, but I really don't want to be restricted in these ways. I feel like Hearthstone's communication system is designed very poorly, and it doesn't bond us together as players whatsoever. If it weren't for sites like YouTube, Reddit, and other forums that the Hearthstone community relies on, it would be that much worse. Let's take a stand on this, and if each of us act a little bit more responsible, then perhaps we can change this ship's direction. If you would like to see our gaming community take more responsibility for their words and their actions, then please hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow my Twitch. Have a great one, guys. Thanks.